everyone. I'm Alex, as you all know. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, today in our sailing lesson, we're going to learn how to safely right a boat once it's capsized. So that is our objective for today. We're going to be learning everything about it. It's a very important part about sailing because depending on the day, it does happen a lot, and everyone should know it as soon as possible. So that's what we'll be doing today. So there are many factors, or there are some factors that could lead to capsizing in a boat. These include waves. If the body of water is large enough, it could cause distractions to the skipper as well as the crew, and it could lead to a sudden jolt within the boat. Also, wind is probably the largest because depending on the day, if it's a really heavy day, there are gusts, and which a gust is when it's a high intensity wind, but just for a short period of time, and a lull is where there's not a lot of wind, and they're patchy. Another thing is sail trim. So if the sails aren't tight enough or they're too tight, that could also lead to capsizing. And an unbalanced boat. So when you're in the boat, you want your crew weight and your skipper weight to have the boat as level as possible. Just a question, does anyone know any things that would be good to have in the boat when capsizing, like safety material? Yes.
A life jacket.
Excellent. Anyone else? Yeah. Yes.
A whistle.
You can go. A whistle. Do you know why you would have a whistle? Greg?
Because if you capsize and if someone might get knocked out, then you can blow the whistle and someone would come to your safety and help you.
Yeah, so definitely. It definitely helps, especially if someone's injured. Get attention quick from the boat that's with you, like on the water, the start boat, a coach boat, something like that, and it just draws a lot of attention. Do you have something to add?
Couldn't they also use it if they're drifting far away and they couldn't get back? They could have someone
Yeah,
come
absolutely.
and help them?
So say if you're in a race situation or just any situation and you're getting far away from the group, you capsize and you don't know what to do, it's a good way to draw attention to yourself, just to seek assistance. Does anyone know how to avoid capsizing? I'll list a few, and then if you guys could fill in the rest, that would be excellent. So a few ways to avoid capsizing. Have a balanced boat, so make sure your crew and skipper weight create a level boat within the water. Also, you're going to want to have those sails at a proper sail trim, which we will touch on in a bit. And also be aware of things around you. Be aware of parts of the boat, wind, all that things. Usually that's the skipper's job, but if you notice something, absolutely tell him or her. Does anyone know any other ways to avoid capsizing or tipping? Yep.
Maybe if you're sailing on an ocean, watch out for big waves.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in open water sailing, you're going to want to watch out for abnormally big waves. Yes.
Wind patterns changing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Directions? So
like we said, like gusts, lulls, like heavy and light wind, and so you want to watch out. You can tell by the pattern, like different water. I think we've seen that on the water a couple times, and we know what to look for. Yes?
Wind shift?
Absolutely. So if the direction of the wind, say in this example, it's coming straight at the boat, say if it shifts left or right, you're going to want to make quick adjustments based on that, so you're not ending up like this lady. Does anyone know the steps of riding a boat? I'll give you the first two. So once you're tipped, you're going to make sure everyone's safe, everyone's okay, and they are in a state to right the boat. The next thing is you're going to want to determine where the wind is coming from, and then you're going to want to pull the front of the boat into the wind. Does anyone know why you'd want to pull the boat into the wind? Yes, Michelle.
Because it catches the sails, the wind, and
yeah, absolutely.
catches the sails.
So if you're into the wind, that's what we call irons.
Mm-hmm.
And once you're in the wind, when you're in irons, when the boat rewrites, the sails will just be flapping. It won't be moving off, like going without you. So if you weren't to do that, and you say if the wind was coming like this, and if you tipped it this way, the boat would take off and go out of control and possibly capsize again, and possibly hurt someone.
Okay.
Yes. Anything to add?
Never mind, I was gonna say it could tip again.
Okay, absolutely. So, and it does happen. So, you gotta be really careful about that. Yep.
You could also point the boat in two irons, because when you right the boat, you don't want the boat to sail away.
Mm.
And when it's in the wind, the sails don't catch anything because it's straight at it.
Yeah, exactly. So if the wind's coming right at something, it really can't catch because it's aiming right at it. Exactly. All right. So does anyone know what to do after that? Once we've put the boat directly into irons in the wind? Yes.
You would have maybe someone hold the boat in irons so it doesn't shift if there's like a wind gust or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So if someone was, say if this is your capsized boat, have one person holding on to the front of the boat, or the rope at the front of the boat, so they can hold it there and make sure it's not going to drift while it's being
the boat's it could flip again and hurt someone.
Exactly.
The boom could hit them in the head, I'm guessing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not fun if that happens. Does anyone else, after we have someone holding it, what would say if you have a boat, usually the boats we're going to be sailing are 420s or laser 420s, so it's 3 people to a boat on a normal day, so you have 2 people left. What would they be doing? So you have a skipper and a crew. Yes.
The crew would be, I think it's called a jib rope.
Jib rope. Yes. Like the jib sheet?
Yeah, jib sheet, sorry. They would be tightening it and switching sides in the...
No. This is once we're actually already flipped.
Oh.
Yes.
Would they have to have someone pull on the board in the middle to flip the boat back over?
Yeah, so the board in the middle, that's what we call the center board. And what we're going to do is you're going to have both of the people holding on to the center board, leaning back with their feet on the little edge of the boat, which is called the gunnels. If you guys already know that, they're on a lot of boats. Anyway, so you're going to have your toes on that and leaning back, and eventually the boat will come up to a point where it does look like this. Yes.
Will the centerboard snap at all?
No, they're crazy strong. They will not snap. Yes.
What happens if the centerboard goes back inside the boat, say like the rope that holds it isn't tied?
Oh, okay. Then you'll have one of the more experienced sailors. It's usually the skipper will go under the boat and just push it up. So you can go on and do a proper righting of the boat. So it's usually up to the more experienced member within the sailboat. Yes.
Is there an air pocket?
Yeah. Absolutely. Once the boat tips, there's an air pocket, so you can go in there and do that. Does anyone know what to do after you have people leaning on the boat? So say if the boat is at this type of situation, there's actually 2 things that one of the members can do. Does anyone know what they are? No? So it's what we call either a dry roll. So that's when you climb onto the centerboard, like this lady is doing here, and you stay on it all the way and then jump in the boat so you don't get wet. Or you can just hold on to the boat until it comes right up. That's usually the safest way, and that's what I'd recommend for someone in your situation. Does anyone know where you hop into the boat?
The front.
No? Good guess. It's actually at the back. It's the safest place to get into the boat, and it's actually the easiest as well. So make sure you're getting in there. It's just the safest and
Why?
most efficient. It's at the front of the boat. It's higher off the water, and there's nothing to really grab onto. Plus, at the back, you have a lot more control because that's usually where it's most stable. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to an activity. Right here are cue cards, and they have all of the different steps, a little more specific, but the same idea of how to ride a boat. So I'm going to give these to you, and I'm going to cover this up. So there's no peeking allowed. What we're gonna do is
Should I just take one?
no. What you're gonna do is, as a team, you're gonna discuss and figure out what's the order from first to last when the boat initially tips to the last thing you want to do. Done?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So what did you get for the first one?
Make sure all persons are not injured and can get into the boat safely.
Excellent. What about next?
Determine the wind direction.
Perfect.
Point the boat into the wind.
Exactly.
Check the boat for any visible damage.
Can I ask why you put that?
Because if there's if you
If
capsize,
once-
and something could have happened, say you capsized, and there could have been scratches in the boat, or the
Okay.
centerboard has gone through and you need to kind of go under and get it. That could be
Perfect.
damaged because you can't get through.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes.
If you capsize in a shallow area and hit a rock, the
Perfect.
Good one.
boat
So-
might have a hole and
Yeah. Absolutely.
sink.
Good reasons. I
Going
like
on
it.
water.
What would be next?
Okay, Greg, you're next.
Hold onto the centerboard while standing on boat's gunnels.
Perfect.
Have one person stand on center boat once boat is sideways in water.
Excellent.
Either dry roll or have a boat tip into the normal position.
Not bad. You guys are 100% right now. What's the next one?
Make sail, main jib adjustments.
Yeah. So once you're back up, just making sure everything is proper, nothing's tangled, and if so, correcting that within the boat. And what is the last one?
We have two more.
Oh,
That's you.
Safety.
Safely.
Help people into the boat from the back.
actually, what I was gonna say is, I'd actually put that right after dry roll. Once you dry roll, you could keep the boat in irons, but get everyone in there and then make the adjust. Yeah. Okay. And what would the final one be?
Begin the sail again.
Perfect. Nailed it. I'll collect. Or can you guys pass those up here, please?
Good job, team.
So the next activity we're gonna do is some role-playing activity. So what we have is we have 3 pirates. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hand these out so you can be the skipper and you 2 can be the crew.
Sweet.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through a scenario of capsizing, and I have a couple drawings here of a boat that is capsized. So in the first scenario, Michelle, can you please tell me what's happening?
Which one?
This one?
In the first one here.
Oh, well, the boat is capsized.
Okay, so it's tipped and it's
Sail down in the water.
yeah. So as the skipper, where would you want to be on the boat?
The front.
At
no,
the
in
front
the middle.
row?
In the middle.
Oh, so sorry, in the middle.
Yes.
All right. So can you please write your S where you think it would be? So in the middle of the boat.
Right here.
Yes. Perfect. So by being there, what are you doing?
I'm holding on to the board.
Centerboard? Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Where would you be, Emily? As the larger of the 2 crew.
I would be also with the skipper, I think, because it's easier to have 2 people pull over a boat than 1 person, and the heavier person of the 2
Absolutely.
crew should do
So
that.
the more weight you can get behind it, the better, and that's why the lighter person should go in the front of the boat, as long as they're able to keep it in irons. Yes, Greg. Where would you go? And
I think my crew members should go at the front to keep the boat pointing to irons. So when the other crew member and a skipper right the boat, it doesn't sail away.
Excellent. Can you please write a C where you would be? Excellent. Okay, so in the next situation, the boat is half, it's instead of being fully upside down, it's half up, similar to this picture. So can I get, we'll go in reverse order. Greg, where would you be in this situation? And this is from the back of the boat. So where would you be? This is an angle from the
So
back
you
of the
can't
boat.
see the front of the boat?
No.
Okay.
Where would you be?
I would be in front.
Yeah, so you stay in the same place. Perfect, because you want to stay there until the very end.
Right.
Excellent. Emily, where would you be?
I think I would be
Can you write?
not necessarily right on the centerboard standing on it, but I would
So
be.
not like this?
I think I would be still helping to try to pull it down with my hands.
Yeah, so you're pretty much just hanging on and pulling yourself up in the water to keep it, to keep the boat still turning. Can you write your C up there, please, where you'd be? And finally, Michelle, where would you be?
Well, would I be, I think I would be where that lady is in the picture, like on the, would I be on the gunnels? But pulling it up?
Oh,
in
no,
the middle?
like where she is?
Yeah,
What she's doing is she's holding onto the side of the boat
yeah.
while actually standing on the centerboard. So
Oh,
you'd
okay.
actually, I'll draw a picture, it would look like this.
But I'd be in the center, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So you'd be standing on the centerboard and then pulling back
Okay.
and just, yeah, exactly. So can you please write your S where you would be? Almost there. We're almost righted. So the third picture, and the boat is almost up, so the sails are out of the water. Where would you be, Greg?
I would still be at the front of the boat.
Perfect. Sticking strong to there.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this gonna be a just a normal pullover when the skipper lands in the water, or a dry roll?
In this situation, we could go both. The skipper could do either right now. They are standing on the centerboard, so they do have the option to do a dry roll, and that's when you go into the boat, so you don't get wet. That's the dry roll. Or you could just lean into the water with the boat and just, hopping off when it's almost at the when it's almost upright. Yes.
So didn't you say that was the safer one? The second one is the
That's
safer?
the safest one.
Okay.
Usually the dry roll is performed by the skipper just because it is a more technical.
Because they could get hit by the boom swinging across.
Exactly. So there's a lot more things to be worried about.
Okay.
And in the final, could I get you to write your replacement there, Em?
I'd be in the water, kind of like here, so the boat doesn't land on me.
Perfect. And Michelle, where would you be and why would you be there?
Well, wouldn't
If you're going to land in the water.
Yeah, so wouldn't I be close to where Emily is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Feet kind of planted on the centerboard, where she's just grabbing the side of the boat now.
Right.
Perfect. Let me just flip this around.
Yay,
And
mom
the-
up.
And the final one. We're finally safe. Almost. We're almost in the boat. We are righted. Now, who would get in first and where would you guys be in the situation? Yes.
The skipper would get in first.
Yes. And before the skipper gets in, what should they check?
To make sure.
Two things.
To make sure the crew is fine.
Absolutely. You got to make sure they're okay. They don't have to get pulled out of the water by the coach boat. Making sure everyone's safe. Another thing.
The ropes to adjust them.
No, when you're in the water, what would be another?
Oh.
Yes.
To make sure the boat's still in irons before you get in.
Absolutely. You don't want it taken off with.
No one's
Us
sailing
in the
in.
water.
Exactly. So, once the skipper's in, they're just going to be simply helping other members into the boat while making sure it's still in irons and maintaining that luff in the sails, or maintaining the sails not catching wind.
Okay.
So could you three draw where you are, put the marker where you are?
It's right there.
So write your S, C, or C, please.
So I'm in the front, right?
No,
You're,
in
Or
the
in the
back helping us.
Oh, sorry.
yes.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, bud.
Would I
Yes, sir.
still be in the front holding the boat until the skipper gets in?
Absolutely. So you're gonna stay up there until the skipper's in the boat, and they can keep it there by doing either grabbing the boom and pushing it to stay in irons, and using the rudder and tiller. So stay there until the skipper notifies notifies you that you can come back. So at this point, we'll say skipper's already in the boat, and you're starting to.
So should I be like swimming back almost?
Yeah, you could be swimming back, or you could just be where your fellow crew is and hopping in the boat.
Oh.
Excellent. Hopping in the boat, making sure everything's safe, and just like in the previous exercise, then you can make all the little adjustments, make sure everything's intact, and then sail away. Good job, team. So I'll take these down. Is there any questions that you have? Yeah. Yes.
I've heard the saying before, like if it's a really windy day and like the boat's about to tip, I've heard like the skipper say like when in doubt, let it out. What does that mean?
So when in doubt, let it out. Good. Actually, that's an excellent question. Usually you will hear that when you're tipping. If you're about to tip and it's like you're really close to tipping, when in doubt, let it out is you're in doubt of tipping. So all you do is let your well, you don't let go of the ropes, but you just let them out as far as the goal while keeping a grip on them. Just because what that'll do is that'll remove all the power from the sails, and it'll let everything out. And hopefully, if you do it early enough, it'll bring you back down instead of tipping and having to do it. Excellent question, and I hope your skipper says it a lot because it's something to know. Two new things. So I'll start with you, Michelle.
I learned to have a whistle on you at all times in case you do capsize.
Absolutely.
So that you can bring attention to the situation if you need help. I also learned position of where I'm supposed to be, the skipper, at the 4 different stages of capsizing.
Excellent. Emily.
One thing I learned is to, after you capsize, to make sure your crew is safe and not hurt or injured or anything.
Yeah, actually, that's a very important thing. So you gotta make sure everyone's okay. Even crew can, just making sure everyone's all right and they're able to right the boat.
And I also learned that when you are riding a boat, to keep it in irons so the boat doesn't float away on you when you're trying to ride it.
Good, perfect. Glad you learned that. Yes, Greg.
I learned when you are getting into the boat, you should get into the back because it's the most safest place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also learned how to avoid capsizing.
Perfect. Thank you guys for your attention. I'm glad you learned something.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.